This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com with a daily wrestling news update. Dynamite from Laredo, Texas last night did only a 0.27 rating, their lowest rating since November. MJF really killing it. And I did notice there was another long in-ring promo segment with him and Christopher Daniels where MJF ends up putting him in an armbar. It's funny that they're gonna try and make Christopher Daniels a title challenger. He's never really been a main eventer. He's always been like a low card guy. I mean, I got nothing against him. He's just a very boring wrestler, in my opinion. This is actually funny. Cody Rhodes said recently, when talking to the Daily Mail about The Rock no longer being part of WrestleMania 39, as they had previously been hinting for what seems like years that it was going to be The Rock against Roman Reigns. WrestleMania, he said, quote, with all due respect in the world, or with all the respect in the world to one of the GOATs, The Rock, it looks like the option we have here within the roster are even better because the stories that are happening, end quote. So he says basically, because of the great stories, I hate in wrestling now the fucking stories. I'm sorry. I liked it when there was a personal feud and you wanted to fight somebody, not this storytelling crap. But he thinks that their stories are better than having The Rock, the biggest movie star on the planet, in WrestleMania, where by the way, for fifth row tickets, as I pointed out yesterday, they're charging almost $9,000, which is absolutely insane. But anyways, he took that back today. He said, quote, I hope I didn't talk out of turn there because I absolutely adore The Rock and would love it if he was present in any setting. His family is massively important to what we do. And if The Rock decides to show up at WrestleMania, Hollywood would love that, end quote. So there you go. Obviously, he got some heat for saying that and had to take it back. But the fact of the matter is, okay, yeah, Cody Rhodes against Roman Reigns is interesting because it looks like they want to make Cody Rhodes at least try to make him the next baby face of the company, which I'm sorry, but I don't see him being the next John Cena. But he's the best option they have right now. And Roman Reigns hasn't lost in like forever. So there is a question who's going to win. But it's not like the biggest movie star in the world coming to WrestleMania that will get people's attention. Like, honestly, it's like they're force feeding Cody on us now. Like, I'm actually already getting sick of seeing Cody. Anyways, Ric Flair is saying that there might be a Fox or Netflix Real Housewives type show with his wife, Wendy, his fifth wife, five-time loser, as Lanny Poffo would say. Lanny only had one ex-wife, and he said he was only ever going to be a one-time loser. He also says Randy Orton's wife would be involved, Jake Hager's wife, and Kurt Angle's wife. Stone Cold is going to have a new show on A&E next month, or in April. Stone Cold Takes on America, where he's going to be doing normal jobs. DK, I heard Phoenix had a good pre-sale for AEW. I don't know if it's the first taping they've had there or what, but I seem to recall they had at least 5,000 tickets sold. Who is my favorite rapper? Oh, that's a tough one. NWA would be my favorite group. And I guess I would have to say Notorious B.I.G. would be my favorite individual rapper, although I have a bunch. Somebody says no thanks for The Rock coming. To me, like if The Rock was coming, that would make me want to watch live. Cody Rhodes against Roman Reigns. I'll watch the highlights and find out who wins. Rick Brooks, I wouldn't attend for free. I wouldn't attend the Raw here next Monday for free, to be perfectly honest with you. If someone had given me tickets to the Undertaker's Dead Man show tonight, I would have gone in Montreal, but none of the actual wrestling events. You'd have to pay me to cover them, or give me at least a press pass that would allow me to make money by interviewing people. Humble says he agrees that WrestleMania goes Hollywood, and Hulk Hogan, Cody Rhodes says, well, the stories they're telling, like any of the mainstream people give a fuck about Sami Zayn. I'm sorry. Nobody outside of who's already watching wrestling cares about Sami Zayn, or if they see Sami Zayn on a poster, is going to be interested. If you have The Rock on the poster, everyone's going to be like, holy crap, The Rock is returning. Someone says that's nearly 7,000 US. Those are the US prices. So it's nearly 10,000 Canadian. Sounds like I'm jealous. No, I'm speaking the truth. As a fan of The Rock and as a wrestling promoter and as someone that knows what gets attention, The Rock would get a hell of a lot more attention than Rhodes. They've been talking about The Rock versus Roman Reigns for years. And now they're pretending like, oh, it was never official, and it was really The Rock can do whatever he wants. He didn't have enough. We've been talking about this for years, but he didn't have enough time to adequately train. Honestly, my theory would be either The Rock wasn't offered enough money, or he's concerned that WWE might sell to a private investor like Saudi Arabia. That would be my theory prior to the WrestleMania thing happening, and then he's locked in working for a controversial company when he's a big movie star, and it might be too risky for him. That would be my theory. Sweet Teabag, he got back with Fifi. Jonathan, Piper's doing great. The hype around AEW has died down, but they're going to be around for a long time, and I'm glad they are around. John, apparently they're saying now they were married, because he said it himself. It would be his wife, and it would be about the wives of wrestler. Sami Zayn is a fellow Canadian, but he's no Mad Dog Vachon. I don't know. He's not my taste in wrestlers. The only real wrestler, Roman Reigns, I don't think is a bad wrestler. He looks good, and he's a good wrestler, but he's not the type of wrestler I'd be a fan of. But I will give Roman Reigns credit. But the only wrestler in WWE right now, unless they bring someone like The Rock or Austin back, that I have interest in watching, is Brock Lesnar. There's no one in there right now that makes me want to watch. Jonathan says, WrestleMania goes Hollywood. Why wouldn't you put The Rock on the card? Exactly. WrestleMania goes Hollywood. I mean, it looks like John Cena is going to be on the card, but it's going to be Seth Rollins against Logan Paul and probably John Cena against Austin Theory, which to me, I mean, it's just like, it's so obvious Cena's going to put Theory over. And it's just, it's not as special as The Rock wrestling again, since Cena's come back so often. And last year, Austin didn't have like an advertised match, and it was just thrown together, and it was a match where everyone knew he was going to win anyways. So it would have been good if they could have pulled off Austin against Roman Reigns, or Austin against Lesnar, but they weren't interested. Somebody's laughing. Tyler, when am I going to wrestle again? I don't really have any interest in it. I'm actually interested. I'm way more interested in UFOs right now than wrestling. Thoughts on Bray Wyatt? One of the better wrestlers they have, but overrated and beyond his peak. He's reached his peak. He's not going to get more popular than he was when he wrestled John Cena at the WrestleMania in front of no fans. That was Bray Wyatt's peak. Someone says AEW's tickets are $1,000 per person or $100 per person in Arizona. The price of tickets these days, I mean, I don't know how anyone can afford it that's from the lower class or even middle class. I remember my parents wouldn't ever buy my wrestling tickets for me because they didn't necessarily want it. I was obsessed with wrestling when I was a kid, and they didn't necessarily want to encourage me to go to every single event. And in those days, it actually came to Ottawa every 3 months and a couple times within 2 months. Now they come here like once a year if we're lucky. But my parents didn't want to buy tickets for me. So I couldn't imagine as a kid with my allowance how I'd ever have enough money to buy tickets these days. Dr. Greer is one of the biggest con men, and he's actually a sect leader, is the proper categorization of Stephen Greer, but I won't get into that on a wrestling podcast. Rock versus Brock, that would have been good. But the thing is, I think the only reason he was going to come back was because Roman Reigns is related to him, and he was going to do it to kind of pass the torch to Roman Reigns. I don't think it would be as appealing to him to wrestle Brock Lesnar. No Gimmicks guy, Jack Kilby, who's running the Great North Wrestling event in Ottawa on May the 6th, is going to have the Sheik's book author tonight at 7 on this channel for a live chat. I'm going to be at the gym during that time, but I will watch it after. Let me know in the comments. Would you guys want to see The Rock at WrestleMania? I mean, it's supposed to be Hollywood, and WrestleMania is supposed to appeal to more than just wrestling fans, but it seems to me right now they have a card of just wrestling fans. And let's look at this. 8,418 for a fifth row WrestleMania ticket. That's US. Let's see how much that is in Canada for a fifth row ticket. We're looking at 8,416. Okay. I don't know anyone, unless you're Bill Gates or Elon Musk. That's $11,329 Canadian. For a fifth row ticket, it's $11,329 Canadian. You could actually book a fairly good independent wrestling show for that price, which I would much rather do than pay that kind of money for The Rock, or sorry, not for The Rock, for Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes. Yeah, his dad paid $12 to see Dusty versus Flair at Starrcade 85. It seems like ticket prices inflation is worse than inflation on almost anything else. It's just got to crazy levels. Anyways, I got to get to the gym. Have a great night.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos,